Chapter 8, To Be Great. Ski and I agreed to meet for lunch the next day. I picked up an enchilada at the food court and found an empty table. Ski spotted me and walked over. "How'd it go?" he asked. "We agreed on a June wedding." "Wow, that good, eh?" "Nah, not really," I answered. "You gonna eat something?" "Yeah, it's coming." "What really happened?" She only had one thing on her mind. Ski paused for a moment. "You look serious. Are you serious?" "Totally, but it's not what you're thinking." "What then?" Ski asked, glancing toward the food court entrance. "You." Ski looked back at me. "What do you mean?" "I mean, all she's really interested in is you. Wants to know what you like to do, wants to get together after finals." A pizza delivery guy walked in and looked hopelessly around the crowded room. Ski stood up and waved him over. He said after paying for the pizza and opening the box. "I'm not sure I could go for the perfect type." "You might as well give it a shot," I said, wondering if he had only said that to be nice, to avoid gloating. I was touched that he would skip his usual sarcasm for a topic that I might have found sensitive. "You'll never know until you try. At least I'll be nearby to look at her." Ski took 2 slices of pizza from the box and folded one over the top so all the toppings were sandwiched in the middle. I admired the way he always did everything a little differently, his own way. Ski was anything but traditional, and it seemed liberating. It was too late to revise my philosophy paper, but I was curious. Maybe Ski would have something helpful to tell me about the meaning of life. I didn't care about the paper anymore, but I would still like to find an answer to the question. We ate in silence for a minute or two, and then I asked, "So, Ski, you seem to have opinions on just about everything. What would you say is the meaning of life?" Ski laughed. "You mean the law of the jungle thing?" He chewed and laughed again. "I just made that up last night because Ben was annoying me." He grinned, remembering how much he had enjoyed winning the argument. "But let's see. The meaning of life? Yes, it's to be great. I'm sure of it." "Oh yeah?" I asked, intrigued. Ski's ideas were unlike anything I had found in any dense, dead philosopher's writings. "You mean like by achieving a lot and changing the world?" "Not necessarily. Most people think that way, but that's just because of competition, which is a ridiculous substitute for true greatness." Ski took another bite of pizza, then continued talking with his mouth full. "See, to be great in everybody else's eyes, you just have to be better than they are. It's just a race, a game. It's fun if you're a good player, but everyone else loses. That reminds me of Ben. He's such a loser because he tries so hard to be a winner. Me," he continued, "I don't care what anyone else thinks. So for me, to be great would be to just please myself as well as possible." "And how do you do that?" I asked. I'd entirely forgotten about the paper now. I wanted to understand this for myself. "By doing whatever I feel like. Usually I just feel annoyed by stupid people, so I put them in their place." "You mean like Socrates? He was always putting everyone in their place, and everybody thinks he was great." "No, I wouldn't want to be like him. That's different. He's not my hero. After all, he drank poison rather than letting his friends buy his way out of prison. Thought he had a duty to obey some stupid law. Why should I suffer because of someone else's idiotic ideas? I would have just paid off the guards, gotten out of jail, and enjoyed a refreshing drink of cold lemonade on the beach. I hear they've got some really nice beaches in Greece." "And that makes life worthwhile, just doing what you feel like?" I hoped he was right. I hoped he would convince me. I sensed that there was some key here that might help to free me from my own stresses and fears and limitations and let me get on with my life without it feeling like such a constant struggle. Ski continued chewing his pizza while looking down at the table and thinking for a moment, just to make sure. "What else is there?" he finally answered. Chapter 9. Split. The next day passed slowly. I stayed up late studying for the philosophy exam and took it before noon. Ben finished his test first, but sat in his seat pretending to review his answers until Ski and I had finished. As we walked out of the room, there wasn't much left to say. "Enjoy your break," I said, giving a single wave goodbye. "Are you going home for Christmas?" Ben asked Ski. "Not right away," Ski answered. "I'm going to leave this prison behind and head down to Mexico to lie on the beach for a week first." "Really?" Ben asked. "Going to drink some lemonade there?" I asked. "Yeah," he answered, remembering our conversation about Socrates and ignoring Ben. "Exactly." The thought of warm sand and sunshine felt good. I considered asking if he needed company, but the savings from my part-time job on campus would barely pay for the gas to get there. Besides, I knew he wasn't really going. Still, I couldn't help wishing the trip was real. That seemed like the perfect way to practice doing what I felt like. "What about you?" Ben asked. At first, I was surprised to find him interested in anything but himself, but quickly recognized the setup. He only wanted a chance to tell us about his own plans once his turn came. "Oh, home for a few days and then a week or so at my grandma's in Wyoming," I answered. Ben waited a few seconds to see if anyone would ask about his plans, then volunteered the information as if someone had. "Yeah, I'm going home too," he said. "My dad wants me to help debug a handwriting recognition and personality analyzing program he wrote." I could tell that Ski was actually impressed. So was I. It actually sounded interesting. But we both knew better than to give any indication. Any recognition at all would send Ben into a lengthy explanation that neither of us had the patience to endure. Julie stepped out the door of the classroom just in time to stop Ben from taking advantage of the momentary silence and launching into his explanation. "Hey guys," she said, smiling. "I'm sure glad that's over. Anybody want to go for hot chocolate?" Ben looked torn. "I've got another final in 10 minutes, he said apologetically. "That's what you get for taking 22 credits, Ski answered. "What about you, Spence?" I could think of nothing else I'd rather do. But I knew better than to cling to my old futile dreams. I also remembered the favor Ski had done me last night by making sure Julie and I got a chance to be alone, and decided to repay him the favor now. "Sorry," I answered sincerely. "I can't. I've got to pack up and head home. My family's expecting me for dinner tonight." "Then I guess it's just us," Julie said to Ski. She tried to hide the excitement in her voice and eyes, but it shone through and didn't escape me. "Merry Christmas," Ski said, somewhat intensely, nodding toward me. I thought I caught a subtle message encoded in his piercing glance, but could not decipher it. I just assumed it was the closest Ski could come to expressing how he really felt about our friendship. This assumption was reinforced by recalling that Ski, a dedicated cynic by nature, never wished anyone a Merry Christmas, said "Have a nice day," nor expressed any other courteous but trite phrase. "Same to you," I answered, returning a casual nod. "Merry Christmas," Ben added. I had forgotten he was even there. With nothing left to say, we all turned and walked away in different directions.